40 years ago, 16 passengers survived a plane crash and endured 72 days of freezing cold in the Andes Mountains, relying on hope and cannibalism. To the survivors, this experience was a nightmare, though the world later called it the miracle of the Andes. The incident dates back to October 12, 1972, when Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 departed Montevideo for Santiago. On board was a rugby team, old Christians along with friends and acquaintances, heading to a friendly match in the Chilean capital. As the weather worsened, the pilot opted to land in Mendoza, Argentina, at the base of the Andes, where passengers and crew spent the night. On October 13th, despite poor weather, pressure from passengers led the five-member crew to take off for Santiago. The twin-engine turboprop Fairchild Hiller FH 722D was expected to encounter turbulence, but the 40 passengers and 5 crew members met the warnings with smiles and overconfidence. The flight ran into trouble over Chilean airspace, descending 200 meters to crash into a mountain, losing part of its tail, and then crashing into the snow. 12 people died instantly, and 3 more succumbed to their injuries on the first night. The air traffic control tower in Santiago received the last radio message at 3:30 p.m. local time. The survivors gradually realized their predicament, stranded at an altitude of 4,000 meters and temperatures as low as minus 30 degrees Celsius, with limited food and the shattered fuselage as shelter. Time passed, and after 10 days, they heard the devastating news that the search had been called off via a small radio they had. Faced with starvation, they made the heart-wrenching decision that would later make headlines. They began eating their dead comrades. One survivor, Carlos Paez, recalled in an interview on the 30th anniversary of the disaster, "When we learned the search was over, we had to decide. We had nothing left to eat." The group endured weeks of violent storms and freezing cold. Many might not have withstood the stress and may have perished. The fittest members set out on expeditions to find their location, but found nothing. They were stranded in a snow-covered, isolated area in the world's longest mountain range.